Welcome back to B2B Talk. I'm your host, Abu. Today I will be talking to Sanami, young black owner, entrepreneur, and an influencer. Sanami owns a fashion line that creates authentic handcrafted designs for men, women of all sizes and all shapes. If this is something that interests you, stick around because I'm sure we're going to be learning a lot from Sanami right after this. Hi guys, welcome to the show. This is Abu, and I am with Sanami, the owner of Sanami Suis, Sanami, New York. Hi Sanami, how are you today?
Hi Abu, I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing very good. I know you got a lot of good stuff going on, and I want to share that with the viewers. And we could take it from there, and you can let us know what you're working on, right?
Yes, of course.
Awesome. So Sanami, can you just tell us a little bit about yourself?
Hi guys, my name is Sanami Atingpahun. I am a fashion designer based in New York City. So I have a background in fashion and business management. So I have my fashion brand that I do, but I also work in marketing. And I have like a marketing branding background, so I do both. So that's basically it. I've been working on Suis NYC, which is my line, for a couple of years now. And majority of my business is custom, so like custom outfits. And now I'm actually like, focusing, or like not focusing, but diving a lot more into the e-commerce part of it.
That is great. Young entrepreneur and also ambitious. I love it. So you did touch upon Je suis. What is Je suis?
Je suis means I am in French. And I basically wanted to create a clothing line that didn't necessarily box anybody into a box, or I didn't want a name that was too specific. I wanted anyone to like interpret it and feel like it could be themselves. And I felt like the best name for it was I am, and it was in French, which is one of my native languages. So it kind of like tied into me, but it also didn't, kind of label people or put them in a specific box when it came to like fashion.
I love it because I am, when it comes to fashion, when someone wears something, it represents them. And so I am means that, I am what I wear. I am who I am. And I love it. So who or what inspired you to start this line of business, and why specifically fashion?
I've always been creative. Growing up, I've always been creative. I've always made my dolls their own clothes. Like, so it kind of came natural to me in terms of art. Like, even in high school, I majored in illustration and fashion design. So I knew that I wanted to create a brand that was like different. I wanted to incorporate back my culture into, but modernize it. I wanted to, still wear like the silhouettes from here, but with prints from back home. So I think that's where the idea of like, starting my own fashion line was born. And like being able, like walking into stores and not really seeing myself, and knowing that I can make whatever I wanted to wear. So I was like, okay, why not, create something that other people can wear as well. And with, when I was starting, because like I was making clothes and things like that, but like because of lack of capital, I couldn't like mass produce. So I just started doing custom designs and started getting clients and proms and all of that stuff. And that's how the brand grew.
Right. So they say you are pretty much your brand. So what you wear, what you wear and what you are is your brand. So how important it is for you, to wear your brand, to express yourself basically through your brand. How important is that to you?
it's very important. Unfortunately, I wear a lot of my things that like it's with at special occasions, but on a regular, I don't ever really get to wear my own creations because I'm always busy making other people's stuff. So, but definitely special occasions, there will be times where I'm going out and I'll make my outfit right before I go out because especially with me, like when people see me, they expect me to always be wearing Suis. So
Right.
I try to wear as much as possible because I already know as soon as I walk in, oh, did you make that? And I try to make it a yes most of the
Right.
time. But yeah.
And now, in your own words, like, what makes you stand out from the others, from the competition or the rest of the other?
I want to say my creativity. I want to say like the thought process. Like when I design, I don't just design, what's easy or what's, I don't know, the easiest design. Like I really go in sometimes. Sometimes I'm like, I should kind of, tone back. But like once I get into my brain and creating, like anything is possible. So like there was one time I had a wedding client and we ended up making a 3-in-1 dress because I was just like, no, you should have a dress and it should be able to come off and this comes off and that thing. And it's like once I get in my brain and like once I start to imagine what is possible, nothing stops me. And I think that that's something that sets me apart from other people. And also like I have a conversation with the client. So they come in and like, okay, I might want this, but I'm talking to you based on like your body type. I'm asking you where you're wearing this to. What are you going to be doing? Because not every outfit is for every occasion. So I think I take my time and really work with my client and, try to be as hands-on as possible and have them be as hands-on as possible as well.
Right, and they will at the end of the day, they're gonna appreciate that because you in to the whole process, the whole step of the way. Not just you trying to make your money, but at the same time you're trying to make that customer feel good, so that at the end of the day, when everything is said and done, they could say, you know what, this was worth the while. So
Yes.
which is gonna bring me to the next question. So when you're alone, you're brainstorming, you're just in the zone. How do you decide that this what I'm picking right now, this design I'm working on, is what I'm gonna go with? Like, how does that process come along about?
There's a couple of things that go into it. If it's for example, if it's for a client, then I have parameters. Because I know whether there's a budget or whether there's a time frame or whatever the case may be. But when it's like, if I'm creating for my own personal collection, I'm having a fashion show, it depends. I think I design until I'm happy with it. Okay. I'll change a lot of things and I'll add this, I'll add that. But I think I design until I'm happy with it. And something with me is it's similar to sometimes when I'm cooking. Like I can start on something, I have no idea what it's going to look like, but I just do it and then it's done. So there are times where I sketch and then, then I find the right fabric and then I make it. And there are times where I see a good fabric and then I create something out of it. So the design part of it starts in different stages. It could be I draw something and I want to see it and then I do the process, or it could just be like I see a fabric and then a design comes from seeing the fabric. Or like I'm inspired by something and then I want to make something similar. So it's different.
Right. Awesome. So now with COVID that we're dealing with, everyone is dealing with it. All businesses are suffering. How has it affected you and your business, per se?
Well, it definitely has affected my business both positively and negatively. This time is usually my busiest season because I have proms, I have weddings, I have graduations, and I'm usually swamped with orders. And I did have a few prom consultations. Luckily, I didn't take any deposits yet, so I didn't have to like do any major refunds that some people had to do. So that definitely took a hit, because this is the time where I'm like, okay, I know I'm gonna get super busy. I make a little stash,
Right.
but that didn't happen this time. However, like, I started making masks, and that just was even crazier than I expected. So, I mean, it has its good and its bad. And I think that I reached a lot of people that I wouldn't have reached before, in terms of just like, oh, wow, this is a designer and she's doing this. Whereas I would have probably gotten like, my prom and wedding clients, and like, I've been selling to a lot of men, something that might not have happened if I was just making dresses. So it's definitely good and bad. And it's also helped me kind of open my eyes to the e-commerce side of things, because prior to this, I wasn't really shipping much. It was just like people coming to me, they get their product. But now with the mask and all of that thing, I had to like kind of think my business, get labels and all these crazy things that I didn't really have to think about before.
Right.
So.
And the masks, they're great. I've seen them, and I'm still waiting for mine. But hopefully it's in the mail somewhere. But definitely,
Yes.
that's a great thing to do, especially with these times. When most businesses are suffering, trying to find out, where the next paycheck is going to come from, and you have something that you doing for yourself and also helping out the mass, and that's a great thing. Now about the African millennials. There's a show on YouTube, I believe, right?
Yes.
Yes, and I saw that you dress up the whole set. How did that come about?
Yeah, that it was super fun. It was definitely stressful every time we had to shoot. It was very stressful, but basically I was called to be a part of the African millennials. And it was like it's like a reality / talk show where we talk about different topics. We hang out. So there's like a lot of different elements to the show. And our first season, we had to bring our own clothes to set, and the shoot was just crazy. We didn't really use a lot of the pictures from the shoot just because it wasn't really like cohesive. There wasn't a theme. Everybody kind of just did their own thing. So at the end of season 1, we were supposed to go on vacation. We were supposed to go to Miami. And the producer was like, hey, I want to, shoot like a lookbook or summer lookbook or end of season, photo shoot. And I'm a designer, and everyone knew I was a designer. So she was like, well, would you be interested in like styling the shoot, pulling some looks for the shoot? And I was like, yes, of course. Yes. Like, this is going to be fun. And at that time, I think that shoot was only like 5 people. 10 people. So 5 girls, five guys.
5 guys, yeah.
So it wasn't, it was still like stressful, because I'm like, oh my God, I have to like, I have to make everything look nice. This is crazy. So I always do one look that's an African look, and I make all the clothes, and then I choose like other themes, and I make sure like everything is cohesive. We match, we all look like, we go together. So that was that. And she loved that so much. And we got a lot of good press and good publicity because the images were so good.
Right.
And I became the stylist and designer for all our major like campaign shoots. And then the cast got bigger and bigger and bigger. So that's kind of how that grew. And then we made it on the Shade Room. It was just really, really good. I got some of my best pictures from those shoots. They were really well done. We had great makeup artists. We always had a great photographer. So.
And the clothes are amazing, because I saw them and I'm like, okay, so Sanami's gonna make my next dress. My next, you know what I mean? My next African clothes for me. So definitely, it's amazing. So
Thank
you've been in
you.
business for how long now?
Whew. I want to say about 10 years, maybe. I've been doing this for, I started right after high school, like right after like senior year of high school. I was like, oh, I want to be a fashion designer. I want to make my own line and things like that. So I've been doing college fashion shows. I've done my own fashion show and just like building and building. But along the way, I've learned so much. And there's like a lot of things that I'm working on during quarantine now that I have a little bit of, downtime.
Okay.
So there's a lot of, new things in store.
So we should be looking forward for the online store soon, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm going to be adding new products, also creating new content, doing a lot of like marketing and campaigns to just build the brand. I was always scared of, because I have a marketing background. So one thing that always scared me is, and this kind of happened, but like, doing great marketing and then people come and there's nothing to buy. Mm-hmm. Or like people come and like, something goes wrong, because you can have really, the worst thing that I've learned is like the worst thing is good marketing for a bad product. So I always wanted to like make sure like my product was perfect before I start like telling everybody like, oh, this is the best. So when they get here, it's really the best.
Awesome. So now, where can people find you these days?
You guys can find me on Instagram at Suis.NYC and also on my website, jesuisnyc.com. And Jesui is JESUIS.
I'll pass that along. And now, for someone, let's say a young designer that wants to start, or even someone that has a little bit of experience, but they hit a bump on the road, like what's your advice to them? Like how would somebody start, and how would somebody, move to the next step if they hit that bump on the road?
Just start. I think one of the biggest things that gets in the way is fear and thinking that everything has to be perfect. It does not, I look back at when I started and how far I've come and I've grown. So I didn't start with a perfect product or a perfect, or everything I created wasn't always perfect, but I've grown. And then there are people that's going to stick with you from the beginning, and they're going to be loyal. They're going to keep coming back, and you're going to keep getting better. You're going to keep getting better. So just start putting things out there. Right now, it's like content is king. So record the process, show people the behind the scenes. People want to buy into a story. People want to buy into you. I noticed like when I put myself out there, it gets the most attraction. It gets the most interaction, because people want to see the person behind the brand. Like nobody cares a lot about like, oh my God, you have this fancy thing, but they want to know like, oh my God, the designer's like putting in hours and working on it. So put yourself out there and start small, but start. That's the first thing you need to do, is start. Figure out what niche you want to be in. If you want to do streetwear, focus on streetwear. Do your research. If you want to do things handmade, learn, keep practicing. If you want to go the manufacturer route, make sure you find loyal vendors, and you test all your products, and you make sure that you get samples, and you check all of those things. So that's one thing. And then also branding. Right. Make sure you brand yourself well. Make sure if you're shipping things out, that your packaging is good. That people remember who you are. So there's a lot of things that go into the fashion world of it. But whatever your domain is, whatever your niche is, get to know your niche. Get to know the competition. Reach out to people in that niche and grow with them. Talk to them. Get advice from them. It's super, super important.
Well, one thing that I'm going to say about your line I've seen it up close and personal, and I've known you for many years, and I'm very, very proud of you and the direction that you're going. And you definitely are an inspiration to a lot of young women and young Black, entrepreneurs out there. So, just keep up the good work and keep going strong. And you know that you got support. You've done work for my family. I've seen it, and awesome, awesome, awesome. That's all I could say. Well, Tsunami, listen, I know, you're pretty busy. Things are hard right now. I just want to thank you so, so much for coming on the show and sharing a little bit with us, and truly appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. I'm looking forward to the next episode. Make sure you guys watch, like, comment, subscribe.
Thank you. Thank you. So take care, Tsunami. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Bye. Talk to you.
Bye.
All right, guys. That's our show for today. I want to thank you so much for tuning in. And I also want to thank Tsunami for the time. And I'm pretty sure we all learned something from her today. And I'll be bringing you another show next time. Until then, this is Abu from B2B Talk signing out.